previous life, I was chef owner of Never Enough Time Catering on Mount Desert Island. And I find that even though my career is now real estate, I still get asked for recipes, and I still love to cook. So I'm happy to be able to share with you today one of my most frequently requested recipes, which is for granola. It's a very simple recipe, but we're going to make it here today in my kitchen. Thank you for joining me. So of course the primary ingredient in granola is rolled oats. I like to use old-fashioned rolled oats. Any kind of nuts, you're going to want about a cup of nuts. I like to use raw sliced almonds. Whatever nuts you choose, you just want to make sure that they are raw, because when they go into the oven they're going to be roasting and toasting in there, and so you don't want to use nuts that are already roasted. You're going to want about a cup of seeds. I like to do a mixture. It just makes it look a little nicer and more interesting. So today we're using raw sunflower seeds and raw pepitas, which are Mexican pumpkin seeds. And then my newest craze, chia seeds, which are full of protein and antioxidants. I like to add just a few tablespoons of those. But you could also use flax seeds, sunflower, sesame seeds, any other nuts or seeds that you like. And I do tend to, interchange these and use different types of ingredients. So feel free to mix it up. You're also going to want 1/3 of a cup of oil. I use canola oil, or any other light vegetable oil is fine. Pure maple syrup. If you don't have maple syrup, you can also use honey or brown sugar, but I like to make it with maple syrup. You're going to want about a teaspoon or 2 of cinnamon. I tend to go a little heavy on the cinnamon, so more like 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract, pure vanilla extract. Let's get started. So into a large mixing bowl, you're going to measure 2½ cups of the old-fashioned rolled oats. Now we put in the cup of nuts, cup of seeds, that's the sunflower seeds, and the pepitas. I'm throwing in a few tablespoons of chia seeds. In another small bowl, you're going to pour in 1/3 of a cup of vegetable oil. This is canola oil. And I find that for measuring the syrup or honey, if you pour it into the measuring cup that had the oil in it first, it won't stick. It pours right out. So 1/3 of a cup of maple syrup. You can see how cleanly it pours out if you pour it into the cup that had the oil first. Teaspoon of vanilla, about 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And then with a fork, I'm going to just whisk that together. So that's kind of nice and thick and amalgamated now. Almost ready to use. Then take just a wooden spoon or a spatula and stir together all of the dry ingredients till they're well mixed. And now it's time to add the wet ingredients to the dry. I make granola every week for the Tuesday morning meetings in my office. And I make it the rest of the year. We always have a jar of granola on the counter. I like to joke that it's one of my food groups. It's really good with yogurt or fresh fruit. Makes a great quick meal if you don't have time to cook, or if it's hot weather and you don't want to cook. And it makes a great gift. I like especially to give it at the holiday times, especially to teachers or friends. When there are lots of sweet gifts being given, it's kind of nice to have something as wholesome as granola. So there you can see it's all mixed together. The wet ingredients are coating the dry ingredients. And now it's time to put it on a baking sheet. Because of the oil in the mixture, you don't need to grease the sheet at all. Just put it on a dry baking sheet. Just spread it evenly across the pan. This is going into a preheated 350-degree oven. And I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes so that I can come back and give it a stir. So that's the timer going off to let us know that it's been in the oven for 10 minutes at 350 degrees. And then we just take it out and give it a quick stir. You can see it's just beginning to turn brown, and it's going to start browning quickly after this point. So stay nearby, keep an eye on it. We're going to give it one more midway stir in another 10 minutes. And then at the end of 30 full minutes of cooking, it should be done. So this has cooked now for 20 minutes, and I'm just giving it one more stir. I can feel that it's starting to get crunchy. It's getting golden brown around the edges, and you want to just scoop the brown parts into the middle so that those bits don't burn. When it gets to this point, it's very easy for it to burn, so you just have to keep a close eye on it. We're going to put it back in for 10 minutes, but I'm thinking this might actually be ready in 5, so we'll check it in 5. So there's the granola after it's baked for 25 minutes. Some granola recipes have you actually stir the fruit in before it goes in the oven, but I find it just makes the fruit kind of tough and dry, so I usually add it afterwards. The warmth of the granola, the warmth rising off the granola helps to soften the fruit a little bit. Those are some dried wild blueberries. Here are some dried cranberries. And then I also sometimes like to add sliced apricots. So these are just regular dried apricots from the grocery store. And I just slice them into long, thin strips. I would say roughly you want about 1.5 cups of fruit, but you can again vary it to your taste. It's a very forgiving recipe. Give everything a stir. So here we are with our finished granola. It's finished cooling. The fruit is all mixed in, and all that's left to do now is scoop it into an airtight container. And there you have it, Kate's homemade granola. Join us next time when we're going to be making salad dressings at home.